For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
We are at homicide number 32, and you still want to make excuses for Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre? Our NewsSpin question of the day. And also coming up in the broadcast, one woman decides to take matters into her own hands, and she gets into a fight with a male student. The Civil Service Association has a new executive. All that and more between now and 2 o'clock this afternoon, right here on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. My name is Timothy Poleon. In a bit, I'll be hearing from you at 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. That's 716-2026. And Kimani will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. You really want to make excuses for the Prime Minister as far as his stewardship is concerned when it comes to the nation's crime problem. No one should be in that position. Well, unless if you are the press secretary to the Prime Minister. Unless you are part of his cabinet. Unless you're getting contracts from the government, so you have something to defend. Because if, for whatever reason, the SLP were to get out of office before the next general election, you will suffer financially. But if you are an individual who cares about St. Lucia, if you are not a group thinker, if you are not a party hack, if you are not a supporter, die-hard supporter of the SLP, who can see no evil in some aspects of its stewardship, if you are foremost a St. Lucian, you will say enough is enough as far as the island's serious crime problem is concerned, which is reflected in the occurrence of so many homicides in St. Lucia. It is so sad that a country which boasts two Nobel laureates, it has two Nobel laureates, some of the most gifted men and women who display leadership qualities in various spheres. We cannot control, manage our crime problem. We cannot be an exception in this regard compared to the likes of Jamaica and Trinidad and some other Caribbean countries. The Prime Minister says that he is at his wit's end. That means that he's confused and he's frustrated. He's bamboozled by what is happening. He's at a loss. When you are in a state of bewilderment, what do? You have to be honest with yourself and say to yourself that you just don't have what it takes to solve a particular problem. And in such an instance, such a situation, what you do? You seek help. And the Prime Minister, as a leader or two, he needs to venture outside of his cabinet and, if possible, outside of St. Lucia to get the requisite manpower to address that serious crime problem in this country. Because he can have budget address after budget address. He can boast about economic growth. He can talk about so many people are now working, and you just have a small number of people who are on the unemployment list. If he does not seriously address this crime problem, then his administration will not be around for too long. It will not be able to win the next general election. Because on the basis of crime alone, how the government has mishandled that scourge, you ought not to think about re-electing the government on that basis alone, that life and death basis. And so, homicide number 32 occurred in the wee hours of today, and that is in Grand Riviere, Grosley. The man believed to be in his mid-20s, 25 I think, identified as Kevon Adonis, better known as Schoolie, succumbed to his injuries. And as normal, as usual, police were on the scene and they are conducting their investigations into this latest homicide. And just stay tuned. As unfortunate as it appears, later today we might record another homicide. Tomorrow, the day after, next week. This is how predictable that problem is in St. Lucia. And by now, most of you are not shocked, unfortunately, when you hear that somebody's life has been snuffed out in the most violent of circumstances. And by the way, there's a footnote. Kevon Adonis, the deceased, and 3 other men on the 16th of November were charged for the offense of possession of firearm and possession of ammunition. And bail was granted to the individuals the following day, November the 17th of 2023. $20,000 for possession of firearm or suitable surety or land document. With regard to the charge of possession of ammunition, $15,000 for possession of firearms, that should be or suitable surety or land documents. $15,000 for possession of ammunition. So he certainly will not be able to answer to those charges. The charges I made reference to: possession of firearm and possession of ammunition. We have a serious problem on our hands. And somehow, our so-called leaders, because leaders are individuals who have the capacity and the ability to solve problems. I think it was a Dominican national security minister who said something just this week. I think I will be able to get that in just a moment, but please bear with me. I will try to get it before we conclude our broadcast this afternoon. But what the gentleman was saying, in effect, was that we're not around just to highlight problems in Dominica. Government, he says, running a government is about the issues, dealing with the issues when they emerge, and finding solutions. That's according to the National Security Minister of Dominica, Reuben Blackmore. Running a government is about addressing the issues when they emerge and finding solutions. In the case of St. Lucia, we make excuses. We have people to come and say, it's not the Prime Minister that is asking the criminals to go out there and kill each other. Nobody said that. That's just subterfuge, just trying to confuse us. We never said that. No one in their right mind will make such a outlandish, stupid statement. We'll never say that. We'll never jump to that conclusion. But you have the fancy title of Prime Minister, National Security Minister. Another individual is Home Affairs Minister. Another individual is Crime Prevention Minister. What do we have? Just a set of actors. After a film, you have the credits rolling, and this guy is the producer, another guy is the director, another guy is the screenwriter, etc., etc. But at least, in most instances, the movie might be entertaining. Only in this particular case, we have some actors, and the film that is being produced, which represents what is happening in St. Lucia, is very morose. It is not something that is enjoyable. But yet still, those people are being paid for doing what? So, we are at number 32, the number of homicides recorded so far for this year. So there is this video that has gone viral. It is a woman accosting a male student. That student, as you'll see in a bit, he is in a minibus, tinkering with his phone. And the mother grabs him by the leg, pulls him out, chokes him. And of course, you know, the national word that would have been used then, I don't know when this incident occurred and where. But something happened to set this lady off. I could only imagine, I could only guess that maybe the son had a skirmish with her daughter. Because in all that melee, in all that confusion, the boy is saying to the mother, your daughter hit me first. But she would have none of that. Obviously, in a society that is considered to be civilized, Whenever you have a problem, your son, your daughter were to lodge a complaint with you, maybe another male, another boy, another girl, as they normally say, interfered with him or her, etc. They had a brawl earlier on. The right thing to do is to face the authorities, the school, the ministry. But I could tell you, you would be hard-pressed to come into contact with any parent in St. Lucia upon getting a complaint from their son or daughter who would have visited the school in question, visited the Ministry of Education, etc., who would tell you that they're satisfied with how the matter was treated, how it was handled. Incidentally, it was just about a fortnight ago I received a call from a mother, very concerned individual. And she was complaining she wanted me to interview her because according to her, she wanted to expose something that was happening to her child. She says that the child is being bullied by a student at a particular school. Now, I felt that the responsible thing to do was to go to the school, speak to the teacher, speak to the principal, and also, if she was not satisfied with the response, speak with a Ministry of Education official. She went on to do that, and then she called me again to say that she was just not satisfied because apparently the authorities didn't want to investigate, etc., etc. When people are frustrated, when people have complained, and when people have searched for solutions to the various problems, they have done the right thing. They have gone to the teacher, they have gone to Ministry of Education, etc. And all of those institutions are failing those parents. Sometimes there's the tendency for people to want to take matters into their own hands because they're frustrated and they're asking themselves, what is next? Do I want to hear that somebody injured my son or my daughter? Or worst case with what's happening now with the gangs 6 and 7, stab my son or stab my daughter to death, etc. In this country, we are so hesitant about dealing with problems, or when we identify those problems, trying to bring them under some level of control. Deal with those issues early on so that they do not fester. I don't know the circumstances surrounding that incident between that woman and the young male. I don't believe that should have been handled this way. But the lesson in all that is, one, we should not be taking matters into our own hands because we all know there are repercussions to this. This youngster, the male, has a mother, has a father, maybe he has brothers, sisters, etc. And the whole thing can just escalate, considering what we are experiencing right now in St. Lucia, where everybody believes that they can dispense their own form of justice without getting assistance from the police. So we hope that this particular incident will not escalate and the authorities will deal with it as soon as possible. Open the lines right now and take your calls. 452-2979, 452-2979, along with your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, and that is 716-2026, as we say good afternoon to Kimani and find out what is happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon, Tim. In the chat room, someone says, Tim, you need to be a member of the St. Lucia Labour Party with the red shirt that you are wearing. Forward ever, backward never. Another comment, Tim, today...
People believe that because you have a yellow top or a yellow shirt, that makes you a flubbo. If you have a yellow underwear, you decide to, brassiere, that makes you a flubbo. You have a red shirt, that makes you an SLP. Mm-hmm. If your teeth are yellow, that makes you a UWP. You know? If you smile too much and then people see your gums red, that makes you SLP. People are just too stuck up on that party thing, because if you're not careful, you're not wearing red in St. Lucia, you're not wearing yellow, because people are going to label you as being a supporter of one party or the other.
Especially those in the chat.
Yeah, I don't care about that color thing. Yellow or red, I really don't care.
Someone says today's Valentine's Day for you. Last night must have been very good. Was it, Tim?
Every day is Valentine's, because foremost you must love yourself. No, I mean, don't depend on people to love you. So every day should be Valentine's Day for you. You love yourself every day, irrespective of what challenges you're confronting, irrespective of what is said about you. So that's why yesterday I suspect you were not, too cheerful. Maybe you're going through something. I don't know.
Was I, Tim?
I suspect so.
Another comment, Tim, the bill money is not enough. That's why they keep killing one another. When they get caught with guns, it should be 20 years to life imprisonment. Another comment, no one in their right mind should expect crime prevention but crime reduction. I'm not justifying this lady's actions, but the schools do nothing to stop the bullying. I have heard some horror stories. It was time that the CSE members did the right thing. Change is coming. There was too much politics in the CSE.
Since when there isn't politics in the Civil Service Association? Politics is rife in St. Lucia, and it has dominated the Civil Service Association for decades now. I mean, Miss Mary Isaac was once the president of the CSA. She went on to become the Minister of Health in the previous United Workers' Party administration. One time, Mr. David DeMarc, General Secretary of the CSA, was involved in that union, yes. And he went on, I think he wanted to contest the Ansari Cannery seat for the St. Lucia Labour Party. So that is a given, what is happening in the Civil Service Association. But the democratic process, we all must respect it. When people have the right to vote, they go out there, they vote, they exercise their franchise, and they say to you, well, you have not been performing satisfactorily, I'm dissatisfied with your performance, etc., so we will vote you out. And that's what's happened to Mr. Cyprian Monrose, the previous president, Montrop, the previous president of the CSA.
Someone says there are two sides to the story. What did the boy do to the woman's daughter? Two sides to the story. She shouldn't have handled it this way, but I felt a frustration. No one helps you anymore, St. Lucia, if you need help. Another comment, with all this bullying going on in the house, one should expect it to manifest itself in the schools. Children learn what they see. Someone says, when will enough be enough, Mr. PM? We are not celebrating crimes. We are not trying to make St. Lucia look bad overseas. Mr. PM, we are just concerned citizens that are fed up with the high rise of criminal activities going on in St. Lucia. Mr. PM, please put a hand. That's it.
And I to add to this, I don't think that the government has done anything. And maybe the Prime Minister, if he's not too busy, one of those days can call NewsSpin, we can have a chat on this. I don't think the government has done anything serious to impress the people of this country and to prove that it really wants to fight the nation's crime problem. I don't think there is one thing. Purchasing vehicles, all governments have done that. Increasing manpower, all governments do that from time to time. That's the ordinary. It's just like waking up in the morning, having breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What you need is to take care of yourself. Go and see the doctor, take your rest, your vitamins, and things of that nature. The extra, the added thing. And the government has not done anything apart from the obvious to prove to us that it is serious about fighting crime.
Was the obvious in instituting a crime prevention minister, Tim?
As somebody said once, what's so classical about that? What is so classical about that? So you could just come up with a nomenclature. You could just say, well, I'll assign you Minister Prevention of Disease. And more people are just dying because of hypertension and HIV/AIDS and diabetes, but you're the minister with responsibility for disease. What's the title? We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Tim, how you doing?
I'm okay. Brother Harris.
How is Kimani? I'm doing good.
Okay, Manny was not looking happy at all yesterday, Tim, as you said. She was not sounding happy.
She wasn't
Anyway,
sounding,
Tim,
but she
just
always
want to know-
looks happy. Always looks. She looks the part.
I just want to take 5 minutes of your time. Tim, just what I said some time ago is just being proven now. I told my friends in Viewford and other people that we are going to get accustomed to crime so much that when it occurred, we will not even know, or people won't even make a big deal about it. And why I said that, because I've seen the politicians not doing nothing about it, only talk. I've seen the churches not talking, not saying nothing about it. I've seen all leaders and so on, or people in society, instead they contribute to peace when they go on the talk shows or wherever. All what they do, talk violence, be hypocritical. That one will say chips, and he'll come out and say, oh, why did you have to say that? But the other one will say chips, but it's okay for the other one to say. As I said some time ago, just like the scribes and Pharisees. So we are just in that now. And you said something about the banana industry. When was that?
Yesterday?
And some guys say, nah, is whatever Chiquita, whatever he say, destroy the banana. Tim, we destroyed the banana industry. And I can never forget that night I stay on my bed and cry when all this violence by politicians were being endorsed of this violence that was going out there just to get power. My wife asked me why I cry. I say, Sweetheart, because we are going to pay. We are going to suffer the consequences because we are fighting against ourselves. And we do that because we want favors from government, from politicians. So we become like, party hacks and so on. And it's a very, very sad thing. And what's going on there, I'll say, man, it's just unbelievable. For this type of crime to be happening in our country, and everybody is just being quiet, politicians doing nothing, churches doing or saying nothing. Everybody is just quiet. I don't know what we're scared of. Now, as I said, I know you have a lot of people to call today because what's going on there is painful. A guy called you yesterday. He says he's an atheist, whatever he is. I just want to give him some advice. I love him more than anything. I cry. I prayed for him yesterday. I prayed for him last night. I prayed for him this morning. Number one, some people say, oh, Tim should cut it off and so on. They say, what do you think, Brother Harris? I say, I don't know. Maybe I'm glad Tim don't cut it off. So I like people to know that when these guys come and talk all this ungodliness, that I can hear to oppose them and give them scripture. Now, I know when I started calling talk show, I say, boy, I know there's a price to pay. When you stand for what is just, you pay a price. Jesus stood for what is just, our salvation, and he paid a heavy price. And I always say, I don't mind. Talking the truth and defending it, I can take my death for it. I have to die one day anyway. But that guy to call, I just want to give him some advice, and I hope he take it. The Bible said in Psalms 14:1, I think, the fool say in his heart that there is no God. And I'm calling him a fool. And God say, not me. And I stand by every word. When you look at everything happening, he coming on the air and say that there, calling the stop show, that proof alone God is real and he is merciful. You coming on that talk show every day, when you wake up, you see the sky so nice, the weather, the atmosphere. The scripture say even that is a witness to show that there is a God. The things we do, we wake up, we take that for granted. It's because of God's mercy. The sun, the moon, everything reflects that there is a God in James 2:19. And Tim, as I said, I have so many to say. And I want to warn him. I think in the book of Matthew, Jesus said, woe unto that guy who caused one of these little ones to suffer. It was better that he was never born. It's better that he take a stone and put around his neck and go and drown himself. And what God is saying there, these people that come to deceive, try to deceive young Christians and Christians that are not solid or the unsaved. The Bible says better that that person go and drown himself. God don't play. He's a merciful God, but he's a God of judgment. I'll keep on praying for him, and I'm not going to answer him again and so on. He can say what he wants, but I'll be praying for him and hope that he change.
Okay,
Tim,
Brother Harris.
God bless you all. Have
You
a nice
too.
day.
Thank you so much. But if I know the atheist very well, I don't think your prayers will work. It will not change his mind. I really don't think so. Let's continue with your calls. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Good afternoon. You are on the air.
Bon après-midi, Tim.
Yes, good afternoon to you, caller.
Et puis bon après-midi pour Kimani.
Hi, good afternoon.
Tim, seul ça moi j'avais gouvernement ça qui là. Seul ça moi gouvernement ça j'ai fait. C'est menti dans nation, explanation ça vit pas plus chaud. Et puis j'ai dépassé là pour nous double nation et pour nous dire gouvernement ça qui te caille parlement ban nous parce qu'il pas qu'à faire science. Bon, là moi regarder clip là qui a circulé à sur social media madame là et puis jeune garçon de l'école là. En opinion moi, c'est maman l'école nous ni à présent à Bendio, yo nom et puis femme. Bon si l'école te la dit, yo te ka entre kay maman yo na l'autre pas te kay la peine bouli l'autre. Bon c'est bagay bouli ça là qui nous ka influencer et qui c'est pandémie que c'est ici. Moi ka blâmer le gouvernement qui est au parlement parce que au cas où là au parlement, comment yo ka bouli opposition. Alors, ils pas ça sorti, et puis, vous mettez pièce là en l'école, en laissant maman là, parce que yo même pas ça, cette pièce exacte pour qu'on même. Alors, moi, quand blâmer le gouvernement en parlement, pour ça faire bagaille bouli ça là. C'est ça, moi, qui quitte M. Tim.
Okay, merci beaucoup. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Via WhatsApp, somebody says that the schools believe the old ways of just speaking to students will prevent bullying, and they are not rushing to find other ways to help manage the problem. That being said, bullying starts at home and continues in the school. And we have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. Good afternoon.
Tim,
Yes, Rick. Good afternoon to you.
I got a new word from somebody yesterday. You won't find it in the dictionary, but it might be a good thing to put it down because I suspect, like me, you might fall in love with the word. It says, told me St. Lucia has no leaders. What we've always had are greeders. You got that?
Yeah. Greeders.
Greeders.
Mm-hmm.
And what they fight for is the greedership. what they aspire to is greedership, like a greedership of the party, greedership of the government. But there are no such thing as leaders. It's greeders fighting for the greedership. That is very, very, very interesting. I wish I had coined it, but I can't give the guy credit. But I think it's a good one. Greeters. Tim, I want to ask you a question because I think on shows like yours, it's at bottom it's an opinion show, right?
Yeah.
And what makes the host for these type of shows makes them the successful ones, the ones that stir interest, are highly opinion. People think it's wrong and it should be highly opinionated, but it's based on that. Other countries pick show hosts or job like yourself or influencers. It's based on how strongly they feel about their opinions and their ability to argue out those opinions, etc., etc. I think you would agree that's part of your job, right?
Definitely.
And
also, out of that, you must be authentic. Authenticity.
Authentic is in the eye of the beholder. So I ain't going on it. I think consistency might be a good one, which does not mean you never change your mind. Some people believe that if you change your mind now and again, you're not consistent. And I would remind those people of the famous line, a foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds. Because you can be living in a country and talking a bunch of crap for 20 years and you are embraced. And it's like the child, the emperor is naked, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people kept saying, oh, what fine threads. And the innocent child said, why is the emperor naked? Of course, we haven't found too many children in that regard in St. Lucia. St. Lucia sees only fine threads, people who love their country only when their party is in office, to paraphrase Biden.
But what's
They
the
love
question?
their... Go on.
What's your question?
My question to you.
Mm-hmm.
When people like Brother Harris talk with such passion, does it ever occur to you that he's talking about things, evidence of things not seen?
Well, he would
And
have
that-
he would have his own experiences, eh?
Oh, so Brother Harris has had
His
I've
own
seen
experiences, and
I don't want to be knocking Brother Harris and it's a subject I'm dealing with, and I hope he takes it in that way.
right.
So you think Brother Harris ever experienced anybody walking on the ocean?
You would not have experienced that, as far as I'm aware.
You
But-
think Brother Harris has experienced any kind of God? Any kind? You know how many gods we've had over the years? Thousands.
Speaking loosely, I mean, everybody has a God, you know. Or most people have a God. Something that they cherish, something that they praise, something that they believe in. Something they believe that can also that work miracles in their lives.
Well, I haven't met those yet.
Well, that's you. But maybe Brother Harris has.
Well, no, I didn't dispute. You know that?
Mhm.
For some people, Poleon is a god. You know, and this is a university of.
For some people, a politician is a God.
Well, let's stick to the Poleons. They have more faith in the Poleons than anything else. Demonstrably, St. Lucians have more faith in Poleons than they have in what Brother Harris is talking about. Those are the things that make up our society, you know, Tim. A bunch of believers in Bolomology, Obia, Majinwe, a bunch of people who think if your skin is a certain color, you're good, and if it's a certain color, you're bad. A bunch of people who think once you've said something, you're not allowed to change your mind. Even though the facts change, you must stick to it. A bunch of people who think it's the greatest disloyalty to change your party, regardless of the reason you change it. And a bunch of people who are prepared to anoint the worst villains the minute that villain joins their party. That's what we have. That's what our society is comprised of. And we are surprised that such a society cannot get itself out of the mire. We have to talk about those things, you know, before we start really making noise with our politicians, who, by the way, are a reflection of us, who, by the way, are elected by us, and we alone know their reasons. Let me ask you another question. I asked, that was rhetorical. I didn't expect you to tell me anything about Brother Harris for more than one reason. Do you think there is anything about our politicians, our current group of politicians on both sides, that St. Lucians don't know everything about? Everything they should know.
I think,
they don't know it?
Considering it's a small society, people know all the qualities, good or bad, of our politicians.
So what? Rick Wayne got shot last night.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Timothy Poleon got shot last night. But it should also be borne in mind that the other side that's calling the shots now are just as vulnerable, you know, to mad people. Somebody walking into the house and opening up, and let's not say I'm stirring anything up, because not even that is original, because people have pulled guns in the house on one another, you know. In 1982, check your record.
Mm-hmm.
If you mention my name again, I will shoot from the hip and make shit come out of your mouth. That is in 1982 Hansard, you know, Tim. That the Speaker of the House had to run for his life. So what I'm saying there is not invention, nor that I want to see it happen. I'm just underscoring the number of things we have tolerated in this country, that this country didn't get to where it is today by us being good citizens. We are afraid to talk. We are afraid to express a different point of view. We are a country living in fear. Fear of what? Well, it depends where you stand, but living in fear nevertheless. You've been robbed of your rights. There's nobody in this country can stand up to any government on any matter in court, because the government has the advantage of being able to choose whatever number of lawyers. And finally, you remember some weeks ago, there was a judge who stepped down from a case on the basis that there was political interference. Remember that?
Yeah, sent to Grenada. But understand there's an issue happening with him in Grenada, was it?
Mr. Poleon. Mr. Poleon.
Yes, Rick?
When you have all that information, you shouldn't be waiting for
No. I did not have all. I don't have all.
You don't have all?
No.
Anyway, I'm going to kidding you. That man, let's deal with the St. Lucia part. There should have been a lot of noise about a Chief Justice who is contracted, and her contract comes from the four heads. That's how we choose Chief Justices, right? The four heads of OACS. Am I correct on that?
At least 4.
Yeah.
Because you have more heads.
The OACS?
Yes, you have of the OECS, because the OECS Supreme Court.
No, it's the Prime Ministers who choose the Chief Justice. You know?
Yes, of the OECS Supreme Court. Yes.
Or agree to the hiring of a particular Chief Justice.
And they can determine whether they give an extension as well.
And you will remember at the time, your people, and they will be saying, Rick, when it's time, it's time, it's time. Your people, because of their age and don't give a damn and don't read and bad memories, will have forgotten. We had an inquiry here with Monica Girodi.
Mm-hmm. Monica Joseph.
Compton,
Monica Joseph.
Monica Joseph, good.
Yeah.
And Compton resisted her being a commissioner in an inquiry, what became the Bloom-Cooper inquiry, on the basis that he had not voted in favor of extending her contract.
Yes.
And they had to get off and make room for Bloom-Cooper, who didn't agree with it, but in any event, they removed her on bias. We have a Chief Justice here, and most people don't know her name, but she's contracted like everybody else. After her time had passed, they contracted her. And you can bet my suspicion, my suspicious nature, my cynical nature, and cynical doesn't mean you're lying. It means you have an attitude to certain things. My cynical nature tells me that if a Chief Justice does her job as she should, chances are, be careful with the language, chances are she will not get a consensus among the leaders of the Caribbean, who themselves are all suspect. So that's how careful you have to be in tolerating what a Chief Justice does, because the people with no faith in the justice system anyway are given more reason. The woman accepted the judge saying that he was getting off the case by himself. He wouldn't deal with it because there has been political interest. But that was never publicly discussed, no nothing, etc. And that judge was, like the Catholic Church does to its faggots, or sex abusers, change his location. sent him to another church. In his case, sent him to Grenada. And now the Grenada judiciary, the big boys of the judiciary, who have more balls than ours over here, because we are ballsless anyway. One Grenada lawyer said, Grenada is known for not taking any nonsense. And they want that man returned because the Chief Justice has, without any explanation, according to them, removed that same judge again, shown innocent, removed him with no explanation, just like she did over here, send him away with no explanation, with a case pending for him to sit on. You see how they take us, the people of this country, for nothing, Tim? I mean, how dare the Chief Justice's office operate like that and not talk to the people of St. Lucia so we can have some kind of faith in the justice system? How can you do that? Because we will speculate, and with good reason speculate possibly the worst. Now it is happening in Grenada, and still no word from her, but the Grenadians are demanding an answer. I stop here because you've been very patient with me.
Thank you so much, Rick. Appreciate your contribution. As usual, the broadcast will continue in just a moment with more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages and new developments, whatever that is. Please stay with us.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbute at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640. Or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
Get ready to turn up the heat with KFC's blazing Burn-A-Box deal. For only $30, you'll feast on 2 succulent chicken pieces. Dive into the exclusive new bacon melt sandwich, savor crispy regular fries, and wash it all down with a refreshing regular drink. But wait, tune into the radio and keep an eye on social media for limited discount tickets and ticket giveaways to see Burna Boy on May 3rd. One lucky winner and 3 friends will snag VIP and backstage passes. Just grab your Burna box, jot your name and number on the receipt, and drop it in the box provided for your chance to win. Ignite your taste adventure with KFC's Burna Box today.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel and shoulder pain, cramps and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Catch the new vibe and the lingo. More upon more so the tingo. is more with flow if you didn't know. All these deals is a winner. More with flow. More data, more talk for sure. More WhatsApp, video, can't stop. Unlimited talk, so you not stop chat.
Flow prepaid combo plans just got better. Loaded with even more data and unlimited talk. Take advantage of WhatsApp and all its features with our new prepaid plans. Unleash your creativity with more social media. Dial *129 $ to activate.
Now that's the new vibe in the lingo. Yes. More pan more, say the tingo. It's more with flow, now you really know. Get you now. All these deals make you save more. Get more.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Jazz, the ultimate experience. On the fringe of St. Lucia Jazz, yet taking main focus is Soufre Jazz, the ultimate experience. Featuring talented legend, Flights, Rob Ness, TYP, Ricky T, John, Skinny Fabulous, Taurus Riley. Presented by the Soufre Event Management Organization. Sunday, May 5th at the Soufre Mini Stadium from 3 p.m. General admission, $130 EC. VIP, $400 EC. Get your tickets at fourcirclestickets.com. SRDF, The Cell, Soufre Jazz, the ultimate experience.
Hey guys, guess what? Because there's more, Europa is giving more. They're bringing back the wow on Friday, June 14th with the very popular Culture Day for Father's Day. Last year was a blast and this year will be explosive. So fathers, stepfathers, grandfathers, all the dads of St. Lucia and all the moms who stand for dad, we are knocking out 15% discount on all pressure washers, vacuum cleaners, upholstery cleaners, in fact, on all carton machines. And that's not all. Betabo impact drills, rotary hammer drills, angle grinders, power saws, jigsaws, and sanders too. This year we are throwing the kitchen sink out for dads.
Missy, ça non vle encore. Pour les diwi.
Europa June 14th. I'm not.
The first responsibility of any government is the safety and protection of its citizens. All their rights and privileges depend on it. The first responsibility of any government is the safety and protection of its citizens. All their rights and privileges depend on it.
Prime Minister and Minister with responsibility for national security, Philip J. Pierre. WhatsApp message, somebody says, can you imagine Martinique with a population of about 366,524 people has 9 homicides so far for this year, the 6th involving firearms? Maybe Shazi can enlighten us on such. WhatsApp message while we await your calls at 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Think we have a call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello, good afternoon. All right, let me turn my attention to a WhatsApp message. Let me see there. Somebody says there, yesterday afternoon, close to the Bacatel bus stop, 2 policemen approached my son the one in uniform holding his shirt and asking him about what direction guys with the cutlass went in. He had no clue, so he said he did not know what they are talking about. Another plainclothes police with gray shirt and jeans came out with a pair of slippers, one in each hand, and proceeded to slap my son twice with both slippers in his face, leaving visible marks around his eyes and to the side of his face at the same time. A message was transmitted on the radio in the police van, and one responded by saying, "Oh, y'all get them at the station already." It was then the police who assaulted my son said to him, "Oh, my bad, you can go home now." I am on a mission to ensure that no stone is left unturned in this matter. Let us see if we can take a WhatsApp call right now via 716-2026. That's 716-2026. Please bear with me while we try to get this call on the air. Good afternoon, you're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Good afternoon, Kimani.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, it's a while, but
Quite a while. How are you? How are you, sir?
I'm great.
Okay.
I'm great, Tim. I'm going good, man. I'm doing good.
What's in your mind?
God, yeah. Tim, Monday night parle pas toi, Tim, because Monday moi kay sa expliquer comment tu t'appelles. Peut-être rôle là tu pas ça comprendre moi, mais Monday c'est comme ça na expliquer comment. Vous comprenez? Il y a ça qu'a fait Tim. Attendez les gens qui fait défense. I think I got a little piece of English. Let me come with that. Tim, you know what will happen? Sometimes we are so quick to go into defense, defending somebody, and we are not even fully understand what the person say. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You have to listen. And it's not because you listen and you hear. You know exactly. You have to try to understand. And when you understand it, then you can comment on it. You understand? I was listening to a program, a talk show in Creole. You understand? And a guy was calling, defending the prime minister on that crime thing. And he was defending him as to, he said that, when he said that, I know what is behind the scene. And he said what he knows that he already tell the police, right? And the guy did not even understand. They're trying to defend the prime minister and putting him into more fire and putting himself into more fire. He never said, I know who. He said what, but he didn't say who. So he go as far as saying there was somebody that had made a statement so in UWP and they did not ask him any question. So now they want the prime minister to answer question as to who is behind the scene. Are you getting my point?
You get your point, sir.
He never said who. He never said who. But you are so quick because you read. You understand? You are read. So I call and I correct him there, but he probably heard what I said, but he will not even understand. Let me just skip a little there and say as to Brother Harris, what he said about a guy who called. I don't think the guy will really understand what you say, Brother Harris, but keep on doing what you are doing. The guy is too far gone in his own ways. You understand? But just keep on doing what you're doing. So what I'm saying with the prime minister, and the guy went and said that everybody knows who. Now he used another who. Everybody knows who is behind the scene. So who is behind the scene? To be one person. So I said I do not know. I myself don't know. And I don't think there are plenty others that don't know. But if you know, and you are not taking it to the police, the chief of police, go to the prime minister, go to the Mikunov MP, and tell them who you are a criminal, you are a murderer, because the partaker is just as the thief or even worse than the thief, because you said you know. You understand? So it's all of those kind of people that are causing more crime and more crime. Now I'm finishing, but not before I say that I'm advising the prime minister because he's in charge. You understand? And he said he has reached to his whip, his end, right? I am telling him that you are doing the same thing over and over. and you are getting the same result, try being different. All those guys that you have in prison at Borderley for that marijuana thing, you'll see you legalize marijuana and make way, make space to put in those fellas with you're catching with guns and those that are killing people. You understand? I heard that last over the news in Dennery, they catch some fellas with guns. In Miku, they catch some. In Beaufort, they catch some. Okay? Now, the monies that they're asking, 15,000, 20,000, 12,000, that is no money for those guys. They can pay off that money. And as soon as they pay, they're out there again doing the same thing. You understand? You have to make an example with them. The punishment, you don't punish them by paying, you understand? Make way in there for 20, 15, 50 years in prison. In prison. Take their liberty from them. They are not free no more. That will work better for you, Mr. Prime Minister. Tim, have a good day. I think the English roll up a little.
Yeah, it did. Thank you so much for calling, sir. But the fact that you're on bail is not a punishment. It's just an avenue that's being utilized so that you can return to court to answer to whatever charge that has been preferred on you. So in this particular case, the charge would have been the individual who was gunned down in the wee hours of today. That would be in possession of firearm and possession of ammunition. There is a comment on the WhatsApp page, Facebook page. No, Mr. Prime Minister, you have it wrong. The first responsibility of your government is protecting the victory. Any more comments in the chat room, Kimani?
Someone says, can you let us know who the minister was in 1982 who threatened to use his firearm in the house? Rick made mention of it earlier. Who was the minister?
I can't remember, but Rick would know. I'm sure he wouldn't know.
Another comment, and he asked me, Tim, somehow this morning I was at a place when I was approached by a gentleman who is genuinely interested in changing what is happening in St. Lucian politics. And he asked me that heavy question, how do we change things in St. Lucia with politics being involved? I did not have an answer. Do you, Tim?
Do you have an answer, Kimani? Do you have an answer, Kimani?
I'm going to remain mum on this one. I do not.
I think the right people need to come forward. I think what you need is something drastic, because that is what we are facing right now. The problems are so many, and they are so serious. You need to change our system, whereby you bring in a crop of people who have good intentions. It's not about wanting to be in office and wanting power and a salary, etc. And a cadre of people, you put them together, and you say, run the country for 10 years, because it will not take 5 years to change St. Lucia and our old habits and attitude and everything else and maintaining the status quo. It will take 10 years to really effect change. So you need to bring in individuals, both young and old, but I think particularly bright young people, because we've seen what the older people are doing to our country. They're the ones who are in leadership positions, and they're the ones who are just maintaining the status quo. They're the ones who are repeating the same mistakes, doing the same thing. Imagine the previous administration. You had so many people in the cabinet, 11, etc. And now a guy who has 15 seats at his disposal, he puts everyone as part of a cabinet. And what do you have to show for that? Because what you have is increased manpower. Yeah? Increased manpower. What do you have to show for so many people in a cabinet? I mean, I could imagine on a Monday, those guys sitting around the table, and there isn't any breathing space. No room to maneuver. 15 people, you have another couple senators in cabinet.
You think so, Tim?
I think so, what?
You said there's too many people. You think so?
Man, you playing games with me, you know. You playing games. Anyway, I done with that. What's in the chat room?
Someone says the new CSA executive will simply follow the same path.
And let me take the opportunity to go through the executive. President is Thekla Goodman. Remember, the previous president was Cyprian Montrop. So the president is Thekla Goodman. First vice president, Nikolai Lansico. Second vice president, Dixon Barry. Third vice president, Kim Willey. The treasurer is Giselle Warrington. Now, a footnote. Somebody told me that election, you know how much it cost? Just guess, the CSA election, which took place yesterday. And by the way, you had a mobile van going around, you know, ensuring that people were facilitated to vote. You had various polling stations. You had one at Union, I think at the waterfront. I think the CCC was a...
Oh, really?
Yeah, you had in View Fort, a number of places. Somebody told me this would have cost the Civil Service Association about $40,000.
I was about to say 10.
Yeah, that poll about 40,000.
Crazy.
Yes.
Someone says we need men and women with testicles to do what is necessary. Change is possible and necessary. Another comment. I know of a child, White St. Lucian, who was held in the toilet at a secondary school and sexually assaulted by 2 girls. The bullying went on and the school ministry officials were powerless to stop it. The parents eventually had to move their child to another school because she was terrified of going to school. The comment, you're so right about that, Tim. Politics has always been in the civil service and all walks of life for decades. Tim, you have no idea that the schools and ministry do nothing to prevent the bullying and sometimes even sexual assaults. It's not the first time this happened. When the same woman broke his arms. My question is, where are his family members to defend him? This same boy was defended by the same woman on a bus, SMH. This lady is from Latony View Fort. Referring to the incident with the parent and the school child.
Okay.
Another comment, we're acting like the PM has the power of a dictator, so unfair to him, and crime investigation and implementation of politics relating to crime.
I mean, what unfair to the Prime Minister? Man went out there, he campaigned. The man said he was the most readied individual to serve in the post of Prime Minister. I mean, the man advertised himself, you know, to the people of this country. Press conference after press conference, market step meetings, etc., etc. And now we're recording homicide after homicide. You're saying that we are being unfair to the Prime Minister and unfairly criticizing him?
That's it, Tim.
Thank you so much. Your calls at 452-2979. We have a call in line. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon to you, Timothy. Good afternoon to you, Kimani.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon to everybody. Timothy, I just want to say it's a very sad state of affairs for our nation. Every day it's very sad hearing the number of homicides in this country. And we have several ministers. Now, I am a Christian, and I am very disappointed in the people of faith in this society. We had an independence battle, and everybody came together as one. Even men of God came together in that independence battle, whatever we had. And up to a day like today, no pastor. Every community, there is a pastor. Nobody has seen it fitting to call the nation to prayer. Now, not everybody, they're Christians. You know, not everybody, but I'm saying there are people of faith in St. Lucia. Enough is enough. The Bible just tells us that if we turn from our wicked ways, God will heal our land. And the men of God are quiet in this nation. And Timothy, a lot of things, it's going on in our nation and nobody's speaking about it. We have a bacchanal culture in St. Lucia. I am not a reveler. I am not hating on any reveler. I am not hearing one financial institution coming out. Now you have jazzy loans. Now you have loans to go to FED. Who is going to educate our young people and tell them, young people, if you're not going to look for a loan to go to a FED, it is not worth it. You have to prioritize. And I'm very disappointed in the way things are done in our society. Not one financial institution is going to speak sense into our young people and tell them, this is not right, young people. How are you going to get a piece of St. Lucia if you already seen your priority is to take a loan for a FED? And so many other things, Timothy. Look at the homicides. Nobody's talking. Everybody's quiet. None of us are immune to a bullet. Any of us can go down at any time. None of us are safe. So I'm just saying, when will the people of St. Lucia arise and say, enough is enough? And it's not about red. It's not about yellow. It's about us as a people. These men that are dying, they perhaps could be fathers. They perhaps could be husbands. We are losing our young men to something that is a trivial matter. And nobody's coming out. Everybody's blaming one party. But I think all of us we have to examine ourselves as St. Lucians. And all of us have to wake up and say, you know what? Enough is enough. Somebody died last night and we're still going about having our best lunch and nobody's seeing that the nation is bleeding. So this is what I want to say, all of us as a people and the educated ones in society, the finance managers, the ministers. I want to know what will put sense in the heads of our young people, to tell our young people, enough it. If you do not have money, if you cannot get your money to pay for your ticket, it's not worth it. Do not go and take a loan because you have to pay back interest and more. And nobody's coming out, Timothy, to say any of those things. You see it online. And it's very sad that people that know better, promoters that are finance managers, they're not telling our young people this should not be encouraged. When will we say enough is enough? Don't we want a better society? Don't we want a society where our young people can think for themselves? Don't we want a society where our young people can own a piece of St. Lucia one day? It is just a very sad state of affairs. And as a people, we have to sit and we have to ask ourselves questions. You see the state of the nation today? It's a reflection of what we are in our society. You know, we take anything goes. And people, they do not want to talk anymore. The power of our democracy is being silenced. And if you speak about it, everybody wants to label you. But enough is enough. And as a young person, I am saying, young people in St. Lucia, be smart. Be smart. Do not be fooled by politicians. You have a brain to think. You want to own a piece of St. Lucia one day. Be smart. Save your money so that you can own a piece. You can own a house and stop being fooled by the rhetoric of those politicians. They have it good already, but you have your children, you have your grandchildren coming up. You know, this is what I want to say to the people of St. Lucia. Enough is enough. And those out there that know better, put sense in the minds of our young people and do better for this nation. That's the only way we can move forward as a society in a positive direction. Good afternoon, everybody.
Same to you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Our caller of the day. And it was just, I think, maybe yesterday or day before, Kimani, during a commercial break, we're talking about those advertisements, trying to entice young people into taking loans for jazz and for carnival. I don't know, and it is sad. Now, on one hand, you cannot blame somebody if they have a lending agency, a financial institution, and they see this as an opportunity to have this campaign. You can't blame them, okay? You have to blame the young people and to a certain extent the education system and parents.
Of course.
Okay? Because honestly, there is nothing to gain from taking a loan, whether it's $2,000, $3,000 to purchase a costume or purchase tickets for a fete or for jazz, etc. You know, after the show, you have nothing to show for it. Well, and I just don't understand that. I know that so many young people will fall for that.
Well, you have the memories and the experience, Tim. That's what you have to show for it.
Come on, you continue to play games. You really.
To be honest, Tim, you do. That's what you're left with. But in the grand scheme of things, of course, that was a bad investment. Why would you take a loan for Carnival? There are more pressing issues that you could use this money for.
I mean, if you're working, what you do, you budget.
Of course,
every month you save $100 or $200. This will go towards my costume. This will go towards my drinks, my etc. etc. I mean, our mentality has to be that. Why should I enrich somebody else? I want to be part of the economic system in St. Lucia. I want to make my contribution, but not unduly. Okay, I'm already forced to pay a mortgage. Already forced to pay cable, electricity, water, etc., etc. Okay, but the added things that I really don't need. I mean, I can't jump in Carnival, that's why I go buy no costume. But you have to be realistic. How are you, as the lady said, how are you going to own a piece of St. Lucia? If you don't save enough money, so you could mortgage a piece of land and pay $600 a month from your little salary, etc., and then you have something. You know, I mean, how you feel when you know that you drive around and you say, that's my spot. I own this little spot there, that's mine, etc. Foreigners come in, they take our land, they purchase it in a CIP, etc., and we're just not smart enough.
But it's interesting to note, Tim, that it's easier to get a loan for these types of things or to get a loan for a vehicle as opposed to getting a loan to purchase a piece of land.
Yeah, I mean, the young people, those are the people who have caused this to happen. Because
You
yes,
think so?
because that's what they gravitate to. That's what young people gravitate to. A vehicle, a motorcycle, as opposed to land. You understand? Because maturity don't really come with age. If you mature enough at 20, 21, etc., I'm sure a lot of young people at 21, 22 already have their homes.
Yes.
If not, they're already renting and so on, and they're saving. You see their bank accounts, etc. But a lot of young people is all about the bon temps, buying clothes, with lunch and dinner and stuff, and before you know it, carnival, and when they look at their bank account, boy, they're feeling so bad, but then they're enticed. It's like, I don't know.
But then, of course, we see the budget for jazz, carnival, and that type of stuff. But it's being perpetuated by the government, Tim.
The broadcast will continue just a bit with more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages. This is the most monitored talk show in the world, and that is NewsSpin.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640. Or send an email to customersupport@lucilex.com for assistance. Lucilex encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Catch the new vibe and the lingo. More upon more so the tingo. Is more with flow if you didn't know. All these deals is a winner. More upon more with flow. More data, more talk for sure. More WhatsApp, video, can't stop. Unlimited talk, so you not stop chat.
Flow prepaid combo plans just got better. Loaded with even more data and unlimited talk. Take advantage of WhatsApp and all its features with our new prepaid plans. Unleash your creativity with more social media. Dial *129 $ to activate.
Now that's the new vibe in the lingo. Yes. More upon more, say the tingo. It's more with flow, now you really know. Catch it now. All these deals make you save more. Get more.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel and shoulder pain, cramps and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Craving a an unforgettable experience? Immerse yourself in pulsating rhythms. Libate your palate with the finest booze. It's Rhythm and Booze, a jazz Sunday unlike any other. Indulge in a breakfast-inclusive event at the Sandals Golf and Country Club, May 12th from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. Dance to the sounds of St. Lucia's hottest DJs and savor your favorite breakfast dishes. Rhythm and Booze. Get your early bird tickets now for $150, $175 regular. Available at all sell outlets and eventbrite.com. Don't miss this unforgettable jazz Sunday. Rhythm and Booze. Sandals Golf and Country Club, May 12th. Rhythm and Booze. This event is powered by Chairman's Reserve, JB Chenet, and KFC.
Cause when we roll, we don't roll alone.
Soufre Jazz, the ultimate experience. On the fringe of St. Lucia Jazz, yet taking main focus is Soufre Jazz, the ultimate experience. Featuring Taunton legend, Future Lights, Rob Zai and Finesse, TYP, Ricky T, Tennis, Nyla Blackman. Taurus Riley. Presented by the Soufre Event Management Organization. Sunday, May 5th at the Soufre Mini Stadium from 3 p.m. General admission, $130 EC dollars. VIP, $400 EC dollars. Get your tickets at fourcirclestickets.com. SRDF, The Cell, Soufre Jazz.
Hey guys, guess what? Because your dad deserves more, Europa is giving more. You're bringing back the wow on Friday, June 14th with the very popular Culture Day for Father's Day. Last year was a blast and this year will be explosive. So fathers, stepfathers, grandfathers, all the dads of St. Lucia and all the moms who stand for dad, we are knocking out 15% discount on all pressure washers, vacuum cleaners, upholstery cleaners, in fact, on all carton machines. And that's not all. With double impact drills, rotary hammer drills, angle grinders, power saws, jigsaws, and sanders too. This year we are throwing the kitchen sink out for dads.
Monsieur, ça non vle ko. Pou lek di oui.
Europa June 14th. I'm not.
Well, do you know that Haiti's Prime Minister Ariel Henry resigned as Transition Council is sworn in? He did promise to resign. So the guy is now in Puerto Rico, and he resigned from Puerto Rico because he went to where? Kenya. Had negotiations with the Kenyan president there because he wanted to have Kenyan troops come in to lead a multinational force. Man is about to enter his country. He cannot enter Haiti, so he had to seek refuge over in Puerto Rico. So he resigned from Puerto Rico as Haiti's prime minister as the Transitional Council is sworn in, consisting of 9 members, and they'll try to put government together to run the affairs of the country. And hopefully they could have presidential and other elections over in Haiti by 2026. I think a lot of harm would have been done then, between now and then. But I hope for the sake of Haiti that they could resolve whatever problem that they have, particularly with the gangs. That's all I will say. Nothing more where Haiti is concerned. All right. We have our NewsSpin news of the day. Hamas official says group would lay down its weapon if a 2-state solution is implemented. Hamas official says group would lay down its weapon if a 2-state solution is implemented. And I think that will do it for our broadcast. It's almost 2 o'clock, and we have to thank you so much for being part of yet another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world. Here's hoping you have yourself an enjoyable Thursday afternoon. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow, same time, 12:30, with another broadcast. Goodbye.